Hello, everyone. First of all, thank all of you. This has been amazing. What a group. We're going to do this once a month, so look for your invitation in the mail. But thank you all. This has been incredible. And I want to start by thanking the board for giving me the opportunity to lead Hide in Plain Sight. I'm here because I believe in the power of education to change lives. And I think we've seen that here, haven't we, this afternoon, how it does that. We've certainly seen it. I've seen it in my own life. My husband and I married and started a family before either of us had finished a college degree. So we spent the next 25 years raising our family and putting each other through school. We put each other through bachelor's degrees and master's degrees. I don't recommend that path. I think it could be avoided, but we made it work. And what my education led me to was a career in fundraising and nonprofit leadership. It's been the most rewarding work I could have ever imagined. And I've had the opportunity to work for 4 different colleges in 3 different states, raising money for student scholarships. So it's work that I love, and it just makes sense for me to be here. That's why I'm thrilled to grab that baton from Joe Roos and from this amazing board that's kept this mission going over the last 6 months, and with all of you. Since taking this position, I've learned a little more about the issue of homelessness in our communities. Let's start by defining homelessness. Homelessness is when a person lacks a fixed, regular, and adequate place to sleep at night. And it turns out in the 2020-2021 school year, for K-12 here in Colorado, there were 15,000 students that met this definition. What exactly does that look like? Well, 75% of those kids are probably living with relatives or friends, maybe families with families, or an individual student living with a friend. We call that doubling up or couch surfing. But 25% of those kids, and we're talking 4,000 of them, are living in shelters, motels and hotels, cars, RVs, public spaces where they can get a little warmth, like a bus station or a train station, or simply out in the open. What we know also at the college level in the same academic year, 2020-2021, 1 in 7 college students was experiencing housing and food insecurity. But here's the thing about those numbers, folks. That was the height of the pandemic. And what we know is that students simply disappeared from our K-12 schools and from our colleges. We know this because the 2 previous years, the numbers were over 20,000, and then they dropped to 15,000. So if they're not there, you can't count them, right? So enrollment is starting to come back. But what does all this mean for Hide in Plain Sight? What we have to do is come together and double down on our mission to break the cycle of homelessness and poverty through education. There's 3 areas we're going to focus on, and I'm just going to share them with you real quickly. There's a whole lot we're going to do, but let me talk to you first about our scholarship application process. A lot of you have been volunteers in that over the years, and the process we've had has evolved over time, but it's a bit cumbersome. What I'm in the process of doing right now is implementing a scholarship platform that students can go to and apply online. It will be much easier for them to do. It will be much easier for volunteers to be engaged in reviewing and rating those applications. And it will be much easier for us as staff. We will be able to seamlessly communicate through this platform to all of our students and track their progress throughout their association with us as scholars. I've done this work before, and I know what a dramatic impact it has in the increase of scholarship applications, as well as the ability of volunteers to engage. So we're excited about that. That's number one. Number two is this. We're going to strengthen partnerships with our high schools. It turns out that in 2015, federal legislation was passed called the McKinney-Vento Act. This legislation provides resources for K-12 schools throughout the country in every state to support homeless students. And the requirement of this is for every state has a central office that manages the program and the resources. Every school district is required to have a McKinney-Vento liaison. And it's their job to identify these students and make sure that they're getting services and support. Well, very recently, we've been able to connect with the McKinney-Vento liaison in Douglas County Schools. She told us just this week that there are 347 kids in K-12 in Douglas County that are homeless. Does that surprise you? It certainly does me. What we're going to be doing is connecting with these liaisons in the beginning, particularly in the metro area, but as we're able to raise more funds, we'd love to go statewide. Because here's the thing, these liaisons know who these kids are. They know the kids that have potential, but they're hiding in plain sight. Let me tell you about a young lady she just referred to us. This young lady has been living by herself in an RV, an abandoned RV, that's not hooked up to any services. She wants to be a nurse, so she'll be applying to Hide in Plain Sight this summer, and we look forward to providing a scholarship for her so that she can reach her potential. Here's the third thing we're going to do. We are going to find ways to engage more effectively with all of our students because we want to be more than a check. I think you've heard today, and a lot of it is because of Joe's huge heart, that we have been more than a check to many of our students. We want to be an intentional part of supporting them throughout their educational experience and their personal development. So we're going to develop ways to make that happen. It's going to take some work, some organization, some good execution, but you're going to be hearing more about that. And if it's something that interests you, you would have the opportunity to plug in if you want to. So I want to conclude by thanking all of you for being here today, for your generosity. It's just incredible. Thank you for all the folks that have been part of this journey, especially from the beginning and over the years. Those that have been on the board, all of you who have donated. It's incredible. The impact of what you all have done is going to ripple through the generations in the future. Thanks for the baton, Joe. Thank you, board, for putting your trust in me for this job. The next leg of this race is officially underway. And I invite you all to join us in whatever ways you can, because I'm going to promise you something. When we get to the end of this race together, we're going to look back and we're going to say, you know what? I received far more than I ever gave to this organization. I hope you'll join us. Thank you.